I'm telling Madam Mayor. Brother Bill.
Morning, everyone. If you would please take your seats so that we can start this morning's workshop. And we would also ask if you would please silence your cell phones. Workshop is a time for council to discuss any agenda items before our meeting, to get some reports from staff and do some presentations, as well as have some executive session items. This morning, we are going to start workshop with a proposed e-scooter ordinance that we have been talking about, and the city attorneys and Assistant City Manager Tucker and Bruger, I guess, will be walking us through this. And also Officer Drew Longshore, if he'll come up and give us his presentation. And this has come up, as you probably all have noticed, there is an influx of these e-scooters around the city. And this is a proactive step we're hoping to take to help address those, to keep everyone safe.
Just real quick, this is one thing that I've heard a lot from a lot of you actually over the last several months, and the community as well, about the scooters kind of zipping in and out of traffic, and especially when folks are turning left or right, and them not necessarily stopping, and folks almost hitting them turning, and we've actually had some instances where folks have been hit. And so that's one of the things we did was came together. Drew's worked real hard on this as a proposed ordinance. He's going to present it, get some feedback if y'all have any, and then if y'all like, we'll put it on a future agenda for consideration.
Good morning, Council. How are you?
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me today. So as Brigger said, I'm here to talk about the e-scooters that we've all seen in the city. Let me figure out this clicker. Us old guys aren't really good with technology, so there we go. All right. So some background on the scooters. The city of Myrtle Beach has experienced an increase in these scooters, especially collisions with these scooters over the last 3 years. A lot of these collisions have led to injuries, whether it be somebody that these scooters hit, whether the person's on a bicycle that has been hit by a scooter, on a motorcycle. We've also had some collisions with police vehicles and other city-owned vehicles that these e-scooters have drove into the side of. So just some collision statistics on the scooters. Let me see if it's up here, sorry. All right, in 2023, there was 12 reported collisions with scooters. In 2024, there was 21 reported collisions, and in 2025, just year to date, we've already had 15, and obviously we have a few more months to go. Some specific collisions that I have worked, I know we had one on 21st Avenue where a police vehicle was pulling out of the DMV, and a scooter just came flying down the sidewalk, hit the side of the police vehicle. A lot of these collisions are on roadways that the scooters shouldn't even be on. So Highway 501, Kings Highway, a lot of intersections the scooters just aren't obeying any type of traffic control devices, and it's a free-for-all on the roadway with them. Some business owners have also talked to me, have talked to other members of the police department and voiced some of their complaints that they have. I'll give you a few examples that I am aware of. One business owner said, "I'm a local business owner, and on more than one occasion, I've stepped out my business that opens up onto the sidewalk and almost been hit by an individual on a scooter. The individuals are going faster than a pedestrian pace and are not watching where they are going. From being on their phones to going the wrong direction on one-way roads or sidewalks, they need to be off the sidewalks." Another person a citizen who is an avid bike rider said, "Hi, I ride my bike along many of the Myrtle Beach paths and truly enjoy it. I've had a number of instances where electric bikes and electric scooters are using the same bike paths while in electric mode. The bikes are able to reach speeds in excess of 25 miles an hour and the scooters up to 20 miles per hour. They are a good alternate form of transportation. Their speed while in electric mode does make them safe for use in a bike lane. I've had several instances where they're coming flying up behind me and they force me off the road as they're between me and a car and they don't slow down." And then lastly, Kathy Winfrey over the student outreach said that there have been a lot of J1 scooter accidents this year. Several resulted in surgeries, others were stitches and road rash due to just hitting a bump and falling. And she has also agreed with our proposal. So we did some research on this. We looked at a lot of major cities throughout the state of South Carolina and what their ordinances are pertaining to the scooters. We looked at the city of Charleston, city of Columbia, city of Greenville, Hilton Head Island, and city of Clemson. All the ordinances have a variation of what we've proposed into ours. Some cities, like Hilton Head Island, outlaw the scooters altogether. You can't have them anywhere in the city of Hilton Head, so that's just something to take into consideration. What we want to do today is just give a clear definition of what a personal electronic device is, which encompasses the electric scooters, designated locations where a personal electronic device can be driven, safety regulations of how one can be driven, and what the penalties will look like for violating the ordinance. And as you can see up here on the screens, these are type of electric scooters or personal electronic devices that I'm sure at one point in time we've all seen cruising down the sidewalks or the roadways here in Myrtle Beach. So bike lanes is something that we want to enforce, as well as the multi-use pass. We want to talk about how we're going to enforce it. We can't enforce something unless people are educated on it. We can gain compliance on it, and then how we will enforce it. So some of the ways that we're going to educate people on this will be our neighborhood watch groups, local schools. We use our SROs to do that. Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, the International Student Outreach Program, our PED team, social media, and just through the police department through community engagement. While on the roads or at Walmart or local stores looking at buying and making sure that they understand where these can be operated. Do you have any questions for me revolving this?
I have one question. In one of the most recent slides, you showed the green bicycle path that we have on the streets.
That is correct.
And you talked about multi-use sidewalks, the wider ones. Are you saying that these electric scooters and maybe the electric bikes as well will be allowed on there? Or are we going to, where are we going to allow them, I guess is my question.
So I will give you basically a breakdown of what the ordinance will look like. So the scooters are not going to be able to operate on any city sidewalk. They can only be ridden on roadways that have a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less. No city-owned parking lots or parking garages. You cannot operate one of these personal electronic devices with more than the number of people that are allowed to be on it. So a lot of times I've seen 2 or 3 people on there. I've had instances of the second passenger falling off of there. There's going to be a speed on them, so no more than 20 miles per hour. Can't operate it in any type of reckless manner on any roadway, bicycle lane, or multi-use path. The new hands-free law that went into effect, so you're not going to be able to use any type of cell phone or hands-free device while you're using it. They can ride in a bicycle lane when one is provided. If there's no bicycle lane, they must follow the bicycle laws and ride it to the furthest right-hand side of the road.
That, when you talk about the sidewalks, now, for example, a number of areas around the city has it's a combination walking path, bike path, whatever, like around parks and stuff. Are they going to be allowed to ride those e-bikes and e-scooters on those?
So e-bikes are excluded from this ordinance, so we're just focusing on
Okay.
we're just focusing on strictly the electronic device that you see there. So
Okay,
this
well,
is,
in this case, are they going to?
so multi-use pass, yes. Just like sidewalks like Ocean Boulevard, Kings Highway, Joe White, things like that. No, they're not going to be allowed to be on those sidewalks. And that's where a lot of our complaints and collisions are coming from, just like the business owners complain that they're walking out their front door where there's businesses' front doors that face the sidewalk, and you got owners or customers that are being struck by the scooters.
You mentioned Hilton Head did an outright ban.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did they do that? What kind of problems were they having? And how have they been enforcing that? What have the results been?
So same level of enforcement that we are, it's just they've had, the collisions, the business owners, a lot of, from what I gathered reading all the articles and talking to people that have been through that area, is that a lot of these scooters are left abandoned outside of businesses as well. So you have people that are coming outside of business and falling over a scooter that's just sitting out inside of the front door, and it's just turned into more of a nuisance to where Hilton had said, instead of forcing it, let's just ban them.
And I have noticed that in Conway recently, that they're just being left on the corner or somewhere randomly. This ordinance will not address that, correct?
The ordinance, as of now, does not address them being abandoned on the sidewalk. Now, it's something that we can look into, similar to abandoned vehicles, how we address if a scooter is left on the sidewalk. I know a lot of the ones that typically I see left are rentals, like you have in bigger cities like Charlotte, where you can rent a scooter and you just leave it and somebody picks it up and rents it from where the last person left it.
And is it the police department's recommendation to adopt this ordinance or to do an outright ban of the scooters?
It's our recommendation to adopt the ordinance. I know it is a valuable means of transportation for people. We have a lot of J1 students that come in here, so we obviously want them to get from their J1 housing to their place of business, safely. We don't want to ban it because then that's just going to hinder people being able to travel around the city. But we just want to make sure the people that are riding the scooters can do so safely, effectively, and get to and from where they're going without being injured.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a question about when does, how does the e-scooter rule differ from a foot-powered scooter? And how does the e-bike rule differ from a personal powered bike, regular bike?
So with a foot-powered scooter, your probably top speed you're going to get on that is 3 miles an hour, if I had to guess, versus,
Sounds like a challenge to me.
I've being a traffic officer, I've been able to run my radar and get a speed on some of these scooters, and I've seen them at 25 to 27 miles an hour. I've taken pictures, I've documented, I've sent it to, the people who would have interest in that.
Yeah.
So standing on a two-wheeled scooter going 27 miles an hour is a huge safety concern opposed to just 3 miles an hour on a stand-up scooter. So that's our biggest concern, is the speeds, the injuries that I've seen from this, and these scooters that are hitting cars that are going 20 miles an hour and they just blow directly through a red light. That's our biggest concern.
And I know e-bikes are defined in state law, or the personal electronic device is not defined in state law?
That is correct. It's not defined in state law.
Okay. So there's no state regulations for them?
There's not. South Carolina does not have a state regulation. They just leave it up to the individual cities to put their own ordinance in place.
That's it.
A lot of my questions were already answered from previous council members. However, is there any way that we could make them put a flashing light on it?
So we are going to have, that is within the ordinance, so you're going to have a a reflector that's visible from the back. You're also going to have a front-facing light that's visible if you're going to operate it at nighttime. It sure is.
Because I know many a times over the past 2 to 3 years, pulling out on the boulevard, doesn't matter what time of the day, I mean, you really cannot see them coming down the boulevard. And they are, like you said, they're going like 20 up to 25 miles per hour. And, kind of like a motorcycle, it's got a very small visual space, unlike a car. And you can pull right out in front of one of those extremely easy. And I know a lot of them have been using it at night because they get off work at night and on their way home and stuff. But they're still flying, and, the flashing light at least would kind of give you some type of warning.
Yes, ma'am. And that's why we have in the ordinance that you're going to have the reflector and an operable lamp on the front. I know when I was working CCMF this summer, at the end of the event, probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, there was 3 of them driving up Kings Highway, and I took a picture of it and sent it to Chief Proc. And they had no reflectors on it, no headlights, no nothing. So, you got to think if I'm seeing 3 just in quarter-mile radius, how many more are driving around the city at nighttime that don't have any of these lights or reflectors on there?
I've actually seen them on Highway 17, and I'm like, that is nuts.
I mean, I've seen them on the bypass coming over the Waterway Bridge. I mean, they're everywhere. And it's just something, you know, with this, it's going to be a 100-day like warning period. So when we're stopping them, we're not giving tickets right off the bat. It's going to be a $100 ticket once the 100-day education phase has passed. But the biggest thing is we want to drive the education. We're not here to drive the fines. We want to drive the education of safety, why we want to regulate these, and how that keeps everybody here in the city safe that's riding them.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions or comments from council? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
When will we see this on a future agenda? All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you, council.
Okay, we do have, we're going to try to get through several executive session items through the rest of the workshop hour. The first is to discuss a personnel matter involving the municipal court and associate judges. We will invite our Chief Judge, Ohanishan, to come in with counsel only for that discussion. The next will be to discuss proposed contractual agreement with Pickleport. I will be recusing myself from that discussion. I've filled out the proper paperwork and given it to the city clerk due to the fact that my husband is the broker on record with Pickleport. And then an executive session to discuss a proposed contractual arrangement between the city and First Methodist Church of Myrtle Beach. In the Pickleport and the church discussions, we will invite Will Bryan, Brian Tucker, Josh Bruger, Michelle Schumpert, Marla Bell, Meredith Denary, and Amy Newshafer. May I please have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Chestnut, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. And we will go into the side room. Judge?
Anybody call me?
No, but I sent a lot of people a text from you.
Okay. May I please have a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made from Mr. Louder, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council?
Nope.
Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We only got through one executive session item, and that was involving the municipal court and the associate judges. So at the end of today's meeting, we will add on the other two executive session items at the end of today's meeting. And our regular council meeting will begin in 4 minutes.
Cliff. I'm rolling it down there with that cul-de-sac, and we'll have a roll-off down there.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's city council meeting. We're happy to have you all with us. A lot of new faces today. We would ask you to please, at this time, silence your cell phones. And if you wish, please rise and join council as Councilwoman Hatley leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation for today.
Join City Council in standing for a moment of solemn invocation. Almighty God, creator and sustainer of all that is or ever will be, accept our profound gratitude for this day.
Hold on 1 second. Could we please silence the phone, please? Thank you.
Accept our profound gratitude for this day and all of its blessings of life and freedom. We remember those who make our freedom possible and recognize it is because of their sacrifice that our community can practice our shared and enduring values of varied expressions of faith, civic duty, and respect for all. We gather today to render our public service in a proper manner and perform our civic duties in good order. Therefore, we solemnly invoke divine wisdom and guidance in this day's meeting. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, council has had time to review today's agenda, which is a very short agenda. So at this time, I will ask if there is a motion to approve today's agenda.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Mr. McClure. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. May I please have a motion to approve our meeting minutes dated August 26, 2025?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Chestnut, second from Mr. Smith. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Our first proclamation will be to declare the month of September as National Service Dog Month, and Meredith Denary is going to come forward to read that proclamation.
Good morning. So you'll
Morning.
notice there is something missing in the room. That's about a dozen little dogs that were supposed to be here today. Unfortunately, their small team has been wiped out with some sickness and short staffness. So they could not make it today, but we're going to go ahead and read this in their honor, and we'll deliver it to them this week. So National Service Dog Month, September 2025. Whereas it's no secret that dogs are truly man and woman's best friend, but they are especially invaluable when it comes to the impact service dogs have on the lives of people with disabilities. And whereas among the 64 million American adults and children living with a disability, only about 16,000 benefit from the assistance of task-trained service dogs from accredited training programs. And whereas Canine Companions is a nonprofit that has provided more than 8,300 expertly trained service dogs over the last 50 years, empowering people of all ages with disabilities to have greater independence by providing training, ongoing follow-up services, and a deeply committed community of support. And whereas the city of Myrtle Beach continues to strive to become an all-inclusive community in which all citizens and their service dogs are embraced. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Myrtle Beach City Council hereby designates September 2025 as National Service Dog Month and encourages citizens of Myrtle Beach to celebrate service dogs and to be respectful of the rights afforded to the adults, children, and veterans who lead more independent lives because of their assistance. Signed and sealed this 9th day of September.
All right. Thank you, Meredith.
So we'll
And
take
next,
that.
we have a proclamation declaring September 18th as Find the Good Day.
I believe this is our second time in a row doing this, and we're happy to have members of the Junior League with us today. So thank you for being here, ladies. So this is a proclamation for Junior League Find the Good Day in Myrtle Beach, September 18th, 2025. Whereas the Junior Leagues of South Carolina have been instrumental in shaping the future of our state through their commitment to empowering women as leaders, volunteers, and agents of positive change. And whereas Junior League Find the Good Day provides an opportunity to honor Junior League's commitment to embracing the spirit of kindness through a dedication to unity and change that has lasting impacts on our communities. And whereas the efforts of the Junior League of the Grand Strand have resulted in positive contributions to the greater Myrtle Beach community, And whereas the leadership development and training provided by the junior leagues have fostered a generation of women who, through leadership, are dedicated to driving sustainable, impactful change for our community and those around us. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Myrtle Beach City Council hereby declares September 18th, 2025 as Junior League Find the Good Day and encourages citizens to celebrate the work of our local Junior League chapter and those around the state. Signed and sealed this 9th day of September, 2025. All right. You're welcome. You want to say a few words?
First, thank you so much. I'm honored this year to serve as the president of the Junior League of the Grand Strand with my president-elect Elizabeth at my side. We are 100 women strong this year, over 100 women strong this year, and we hope to continue to grow our efforts throughout the Grand Strand. So again, thank you.
Thank you. Would you all like to have your picture taken together?
Okay with y'all.
You all took the time to be here, so it's the least that can be done.
We appreciate it very much.
Thank you for all you do.
Are y'all going to get in it?
Whatever they want.
All right.
Isabella? Okay, and now we will have our communications and creative services update.
Hey City Council, Erin Bowling here with your communications update. The Waves of Praise Gospel Festival welcomed hundreds of concert goers to the beach Labor Day weekend. Whispering Pines Golf Course is officially open. Renovations include new tee boxes, greens, fairways, sand traps, parking lot, and more. The new welcome sign is coming soon. Post-Labor Day beach rules are in effect. Dogs are now allowed on the beach at any time of day so long as they're on a leash. Dogs and bicycles are also allowed on the boardwalk at any time of day, and tents, canopies, and shading devices up to 12 by 12 square feet are permitted. Fall fun is underway in downtown Myrtle Beach. The Myrtle Beach Downtown Alliance kicked off the season last Thursday with the first Nights at Nance concert, and it continues tomorrow with bingo at Nance Plaza from 6 to 8 and live music from Urban Jukebox on Thursday. These Wednesday and Thursday night events continue every week through October and end with a special Teal Nation Nights at Nance Tuesday, November 4th. Work is underway along 5th Avenue North to install a new 36-inch drain pipe. The $1.7 million project will fix drainage issues and upgrade the water and sewer infrastructure in the area by connecting to the 4th Avenue Ocean Outfall. The project should be complete by the end of the year. Everyone is welcome to take part in the 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb at Crabtree Memorial Gym this week. The public can drop by now through Saturday during regular business hours to try to reach 110 flights of stairs climbed to honor the FDNY and NYPD heroes. Looking ahead, make plans to attend the September 11th Remembrance Ceremony this Thursday at 1 p.m. The ceremony will be held at the Unity Memorial in Warburg Park to remember the nearly 3,000 lives lost on September 11, 2001. If it rains, the ceremony will be held at General Robert H. Reed Recreation Center. The Myrtle Beach Fire Department hosts its annual September 11th stair climb for active and retired firefighters at the Yachtsman Resort at 8:46 a.m. Thursday, September 11th. And everyone is welcome to celebrate the iconic Myrtle Beach photographer Jack Thompson at the Myrtle Beach Train Depot at 3 p.m. on September 21st. That's all for now. Have a great rest of your week.
All right, thank you. Do we have any non-agenda items from the public?
No, Your Honor.
All righty. We'll move on to our consent agenda for today.
Yes, ma'am. We have one item on the consent agenda today, motion 2025-61, authorizing the city manager or designee to accept a donation of $5,000 from the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce. These funds are put toward supplying promotional items related to city parks, recreation, sports, tourism.
Thank you. That is our only consent agenda item, so may I please have a motion to approve today's consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion for Mr. Louder, second for Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. First item on our regular agenda is the first reading of ordinance 2025-47.
First reading of ordinance 2025-47 to amend sections 21-1, 21-6, 21-8, 21-9, and 21-10 of Chapter 21, Article 1, to add Section 21-17 to Chapter 21, Article 1, to correct internal references in ordinance 2025-36, to set water and sewer connection charges and deposits, and to set rates for wholesale water service.
Okay, and I realize this makes very little sense to most of you. This is something that was discussed in our last workshop, but it will be explained again today.
Thank you. Ordinance 2025-47 cleans up a lot of Chapter 21 of the City of Myrtle Beach Code of Ordinances. It does that in several ways. It better defines connection charges, impact fees, and tap charges. It clarifies appeal rights for water and sewer bill disputes. It eliminates the collection of interest on deposits. It also establishes rates for wholesale water service. And beginning in fiscal year 2027, all water and sewer rates, charges, fees, assessments that are either addressed in Chapter 21 or in the ordinance before council, all of that will be addressed or accounted for in the annual budget ordinance beginning fiscal year 2027 and thereafter. And finally, this ordinance also amends parts of ordinance 2025-36 to correct subsection and exhibit references. Thank you.
All right.
That is all that it does, mostly.
That's a lot. Is there a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-47?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Mr. McClure, second from Ms. Hatley. Any discussion or questions from council? Mr. Attorney, the wholesale water service, establishing rates for wholesale water service. Do you want to explain quickly what that's for?
For the provision of water to North Myrtle Beach? Is that the question?
Well, in general, wholesale water service.
I'd rather the Director of Public Works answer those questions,
Okay.
if you have any.
Good morning.
Good morning, Council. Mayor, to answer your question, the wholesale service rate is essentially a recover of costs with different elements. One being normal operation and maintenance costs, and that is on a per 1,000-gallon rate. The next is a capital cost associated with investments that we are making in our water service. And that is a fixed rate that can adjust on an annual basis, as you've seen in the document. And then we also have a excessive use or surcharge rate should a amount of water exceed what is contractually available.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any discussion from the public?
Good morning, Alex Vogel, city resident. I just have a question related to the deposits. I was here for the workshop, and I understand the benefit of doing away with retaining the deposits, but there must be some already, in the system. Are those just going to be absorbed by the city, or are they going to be refunded to the users if the deposits already have interest?
Mr. Roof will come forward and answer your question.
Yes, it will be refunded back.
Thank you.
There you go. You're welcome. Okay.
Okay, any other discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Motion 2025-62 to reappoint 4 members to the Accommodations Tax Advisory Committee. The chairman recommends the reappointments of Jamie Broadhurst and Clay Nance. Their new terms will expire on February 22nd, 2028. Betty Mills was appointed to the Planning Commission, and chairperson recommends Bob Singleton to fulfill the remainder of that term, expiring February 22nd, 2027. The chairperson also recommends the appointment of David Neese to fill vacant seat with the term expiring on February 22nd, 2026, where they then may be reappointed for another 3-year term. May I ask someone on council please make a motion for these appointments and reappointments?
Mayor, I make a motion to reappoint and appoint based on what you just read. Okay.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Chestnut. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Ms. Alley. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Motion 2025-63.
Motion 2025-63 to declare certain vehicles abandoned or derelict pursuant to the authority of Article 41 of Title 56, South County Code of Laws, 2001.
And I realize the screen is hard to see, but if there is anyone here who represents any of these vehicles, please let us know. And with that, I will ask for a motion to declare.
Motion to declare.
Second. Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed, motion carries. Do we have any other non-agenda items from the public?
No, ma'am, we do not.
Okay, any council communications or communications from management and staff? All right, with that, we will continue on with our executive session items. I will ask for a motion to go into executive session to discuss proposed contractual agreement with Pickleport. I will be recusing myself from that discussion due to the fact that my husband is the broker on record for Pickleport. Next is executive session to discuss a proposed contractual arrangement between the city and First Methodist Church of Myrtle Beach. Our next item will be to discuss contractual negotiations regarding development at 26th Avenue North and Ocean Boulevard. And lastly, to discuss potential legal action concerning infringement of trademark of city seal. May I please have a motion to go into executive session, and we will invite Will Bryan, Brian Tucker, Josh Bruger, Michelle Schumpert, Marla Bell, Meredith Denary, and Amy Newshafer.
So move.
Second.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Executive session will be held in these chambers, so we will excuse everyone at this time, please. there a motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Louder, second from Mr. Chestnut. Any discussion from council? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Not yet.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now, Brian, what would you want to say?
Just going to make you all aware, if y'all remember a couple of weeks ago, we talked to you about the encroachment agreement that we needed with Ms. Starnes on her property. Will has drafted that and delivered it to her this morning, and she signed it. So I was surprised that it was that easy.
Good to go.
Great.
Glad we solved that.
I'm glad we did too.
We trying that again?
What else do we need? Brian, maybe now's a good time to address the coffee shop building.